Clear, right?
Yes.
Madan, how are you?
Sir, I'm fine, sir.
Good. So let me move to the next step and let me start doing discussion about something else.
सर लैब के रिगार्डिंग हमारा मुझे क्वेरी था लैब का एक्चुअल में क्रेडेंशियल वगैरह मिल गया है
Hmm.
तो एक्सेस कैसे क्या करने का थोड़ा सा वो डैशबोर्ड उसका कुछ ओवरव्यू देते तो इट वुड बी गुड।
Let me cover. Okay, just give me. Let me cover that. Okay, how it is going to happen in the lab part also. Okay, so can you just ping me your lab credential in the chat so I can just show you how it is going to be login? Do you have the lab credentials?
यस
Can you
यस
just
आई हैव।
ping me in the chat? So I'll show you how it is going to be happen.
या आई शेयर सर।
Okay, let me check that. What is the rack number?
ठीक।
You said username password. What is the rack number? Means you have some rack number, right? 8080 2020 4040. What is the rack number?
काइंड ऑफ मे बी ओनली मेंशन 6071।
No. Username password, you have one link na, to log in that URL. You have the URL also.
यस यस आई हैव।
URL, can you paste the URL as well?
या इन यूआरएल मेंशन 8081।
8081. 8081?
यस
Sure.
यस सर आई विल गिव यूआरएल आल्सो।
Just give. 8081. It's my URL. Who created your credential on this? Oh my God. A lot of users are on this lab.
या आई शेयर सर यूआरएल आल्सो।
Okay. So same Pradeep, Naushad, Krishna. Okay, many people on the lab. Okay, no problem. Okay, let me show you. So once you go on this URL, right? 8081, right? You are on the URL.
या
So you have to put your username and password. What is your username password? That is your username. Let me put your username and let me put your password. Okay, this is your password. Now here you have to select the HTML console by default. Okay,
यस
clear? And then you have to put your captcha OX and log in it. Once you log in, right, you can close the lab from the left hand side. By default, the open lab is going to show you. You close it. So all labs are going to be available here, but it's not showing to you, right? Just give me 1 minute, okay? Let me see why it's not working for you. Let me check. So your account. So I'll go in your account. Let me check. You have the access. Why it's not working? Live user. Let me check role management. Live user.
हैव यू स्टार्ट रिकॉर्डिंग सर या यस।
Yeah, recording has been already started. Recording has started, okay? I'm checking your credential. Why it's not working? Am I audible or not?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Audible, right? So let me check it. Okay, so I have to check why your lab is not showing here. Okay, by default, when you log into the lab. So I'll check and get back to you. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
There is some issue. I believe someone mistaken did something in the backend. That's why it's not working. So I'll check your lab access. I'll fix it, and hopefully you're going to get complete lab access from here.
Okay.
So let me log in to the firewall. So till yesterday, we have done discussion about the interfaces, and on those interfaces, we understand almost each and every interface type, VLAN, loopback, redundant, hardware. Now let's understand about the zone. What is a zone in the FortiGate firewall, and why you use the zone, right? So zone in a Palo Alto firewall have a different concept, and FortiGate have the completely different like concept. They are not the same. In Palo Alto, the zone definition is just logically segregating or like restricting that kind of the barrier. By default, one zone cannot talk to another zone. So it's kind of the making the zero trust model where by default communication is going to be restricted. But if I talk about the FortiGate firewall have the different purpose of the zone. So if you read this zone definition, they are talking about a zone is the logical group containing one or more physical or virtual interfaces. Grouping interface in the zone can simplify the firewall policy configuration. Simple meaning, right? Means it is going to help your life very easy in terms of the firewall policy configuration by leveraging the zone feature. If I click on this particular page, you can see here they are talking about here. Zones are a group of one or more physical and virtual interface in FortiGate firewall that you can apply the firewall policy for the controlling inbound and outbound traffic, grouping interface and VLANs sub-interface into zones simplifies creating firewall policy where a number of network segment can be used the same policy setting the protecting profile. Means it like quite long definition, but in short, you have to understand. Let's suppose you have the multiple VLANs in the DMG zone, WAN zone, or might be the LAN zone. VLAN 1, 2, 3, right? And another zone, VLAN 2, we have again the different ports, right? So if I have to create the policies, if I have to create the policy, might be they have the similar kind of the policy is going to require. Let's suppose different VLANs have the, just think in this way. I have the VLAN 10 that is going to be used for the HR. VLAN 20 I am going to use for the sales. And VLAN 30 I am going to use for the marketing. VLAN 40 I am going to use the IT people. But all are required the internet access. So internet access is always going to be required from the all VLAN point of view. So I have to create the multiple policies if I am going to allow all same kind of the internet access for the HR, sales, marketing, whatever I have. But definitely I have to go and allow the multiple kind of the policy, then only it is possible. Because in the FortiGate firewall, policy definition is look like in this way, where I cannot have the luxury by leveraging the single policy, I can club the multiple interfaces, right? Let me show you how it is going to look like. So let's suppose I'm in the firewall. Let me see what is my firewall management IP address. Pradeep, how are you? Pradeep,
Yes, sir.
how are you?
I'm fine, sir. Thank you. And how is it?
Good, good. Yesterday you didn't speak a single word. I keep
सर
asking your name.
एक्चुअली मैं ड्यूटी से वापस आ रहा था सर अभी भी मैं ऑन रोड हूँ सर
Okay, okay. Okay, then cool, 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 cool. Thank you, thank you. I was just curious to know why you're not speaking.
सॉरी फॉर दैट
No problem, no problem. So you can see here, I have this policy. Let me show the policy. Sorry. So if I go and create the policy here, and I'll go create the firewall policy, right? So in this firewall policy, right, we have the lot of policy created for DHCP server and VLAN 10 to 20, VLAN 20 to DHCP server, VLAN 20 to 10, right? But let's suppose they all have to go on the internet. Let's suppose VLAN 10 also go on the internet, VLAN 20 also go on the internet. Then is it possible I can go in a single policy? Let me show you. Is it possible or not? So right now, if I want to do that, I can create the policy and just I put the name this policy. So let me put as 0. Name is LAN to WAN. LAN to WAN policy. Okay. Now we have the option in like your in zone means your incoming interface. I can put either VLAN 10 or VLAN 20. I don't have option to put VLAN 10 and 20 both together. You see the problem. In outgoing interface, I can put the one, right? Source interface, even I can put allow, there is all is going to be included. If I want to put the all destination, that is also going to be possible. Source interface, if you want to put even based on the 1020 address, it is possible. I can do that. Destination could be all, port could be all. But problem is I cannot define my all LAN interfaces here in the single policy. So if I have the 100 of VLAN, I have to create the 100 of policy. This is a problem. So if I VLAN 10, I create one policy, LAN to WAN. I have to again copy this policy, paste this policy. So let me paste it just below. And this time I'll just use again LAN to WAN 2 policy because this time 2 and this time I'll use the VLAN 20. And again, source zone is like your VLAN 10 and 20 you can include or only 20 you can include this time. All is going to happen like NAD is going to be happen and all it is going to be done and then your policy is going to be created. It's a disable state so you just have to enable it. So the problem is how many I have the LAN interfaces or VLAN, I have to define that much policy to go on the internet and which is not good. So how I can eliminate this work? So there is a way by using the concept of the zone in the FortiGate firewall. By using the concept of zone in the FortiGate firewall, we can club the interfaces together and we can apply the single policy for them. Okay. So let me do that. So let me delete these two policies for time being.
Sir,
Yes, please go ahead.
sir,
Ask.
as per your explanation, means my understanding is like you are talking means every VLAN and every means a particular VLAN need to separate policy create in the firewall, but you configure once zone, then only zone through all VLANs user will be communicate
Very
to
nice.
internet, right,
Very
sir?
nice. Very nice. And I like your, explanation as well. It's a very good explanation. Keep trying. Okay, Nosat?
Okay, okay, thank you.
Exactly the same concept I try to explain and you understand very well. Okay.
Okay, sir, okay.
So let me go here in the interface. This time I'm going to define one zone and based on zone, I can add these two VLANs, right? 10 and 20. And based on that VLAN, I can create one policy. So I'll go here and see here is the zone. You can see. So I click on the zone and I'll put the zone is the LAN subnets, right? And in this LAN subnet, I can put the port. What is my port? That is my port right now, which is associated with VLANs. That is the port 2 only, right? Understand? So I can associate the port 2 as well. And let's suppose I have the multiple ports port 3, port pair, which have the different VLANs, right? So that is going to come in a picture and everything is going to be associated. Let's suppose I want to port 3 as well. So this is also going to be added. So VLAN is going to associate with port, and port is basically going to map. Even I'm going to define the port level configuration. That is only one port is going to take on the policy. Let me show you again. So if I go here and define the port, incoming port, only one port I can define here. I cannot club 2 and 3 ports here. If I want to club 2 and 3 ports, because they have the different VLANs, 30 and 40, 10 and 20, I cannot club that. So this is also a problem. So VLAN is a part of the port. So I can simply go and create here. Let me go on this particular interface here in zone, and I'll create the LAN subnets. Okay. And one thing you can see here, block intra-zone traffic means if you are going to enable this feature, block intra-zone, so that means even I have the 10 subnet that or 4 subnet which are behind this port 2 and 3, by using this particular feature, they cannot talk to each other, right? They cannot talk to each other. So if you just disable it, then it is going to talk to each other. If you enable it, by default, this communication within 30, 40, 10, 12 is going to block. So I create the zone now. Now I have the zone, and this zone have the 2 ports. So if I go again in the security policy, and I just go and create the policy this time, port now I want to get for VLAN 10, 20, 30, 40. They all are scheduled the port 2 and 3 if I go into trunking protocol. So simply I'll go here and put the name as a LAN to WAN policy, and it is going to include all LAN to WAN. So I'll simply, what I'm going to use? Tell me. This LAN zone, right? So I'll just click the LAN subnet zone and I'll just click on the outgoing interface is the port 1. Through that, my traffic will go out. So now my purpose has been done. At a single policy, I include LAN zone which have the 2 ports, port 3 and 4, 2 and 3, and these 2 ports having total 4 VLANs. So my job has been done. And source address, if we have the multiple source address, let's suppose I want to add 10, 20, I can create, let's suppose 30 as well. So I can create VLAN 30. I can just give the 30/24. I can put 30 as well. I want to add 40. So I can go here and put VLAN 40 and 40, 40, 40/24. I'll click OK. 40 as well. Okay, destination, I'll just go here, put any destinations. Services I can put here, all services. I leave it anything here. So now my policy has been created, and this is the purpose of zone. So you can see my LAN to WAN policy, and your zone has been mapped from LAN subnet zone. In this zone, you have the 4 VLANs, and you create the policy. So this is the use of the zone. Clear to everyone? Shall I move the next topic if you all allow? Any question? Okay, so let me now move some interesting topic because we done the all discussion. So let me stop this recording.
सर तो कम्युनिकेशन किधर हो रहा है? ये तो आपने जोन क्रिएट कर दिया और मल्टीपल विलेन को ऐड कर दिया सिंगल जोन में.
So you want to a real communication as well?
Yes.
So see, right now what is going to happen if I want to go on the internet, right? So we have to do routing, which we don't have done, right? We have the policy here.
Got
We have to do NAT. So I'm just explaining how zone is going to be useful. Now we are going to routing NAT, everything are going to discuss step by step. But you just have to get this policy. Means you have the such scenario, you want to club multiple interfaces, the zone is going to come in a picture to make that communication. This is the only concept you have to understand here. But if you have to do routing NAT, then we'll discuss step by step. Now we are going to discuss that concept. Next step is that one only. Okay, no sir?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, but the zone is just you have to understand how I can logically club multiple interfaces together.
Okay.
So let me off this lab. Okay. Let me start something interesting and we'll see how it is going to happen. So we discuss, this one we discuss, this one we discuss, this one we discuss. Okay. So let me okay, let me just start with this lab. Okay. So let me do that. So just think about, I have a scenario. I have the different PC, different user, they want to talk to the internet, then how they're going to talk to the internet and what is going to happen in the communication point of the FortiGate file, FortiGate point of view of the firewall. Okay. So we have to understand how my traffic will initiate from the LAN and then it is going to reach the gateway. Then what is the first thing they're going to check? And after checking the first thing, then how traffic will move to the internet. And if it is moving to the internet, what is the prerequisite? Because your LAN is going to be private address, your WAN is going to be public address. So you also have to understand the NAT concept. So NAT concepts are very, in FortiGate, it's like very different type of NATs we have that we have to understand step by step. What is the different type of NAT, source NAT, destination NAT, one-to-one mapping NAT, one-to-many mapping NAT. So we have a lot of NAT available here. So we'll discuss. But first thing, we have to understand what is the NAT and how my packet is going to process. And if I'm going to create the policy, what are different options we have in the policy and why we use those options. And then we can move to the next step. So the first thing, I will log into the the FortiGate firewall. And after login to the FortiGate firewall, I just put the username as admin. Password, I can leave at the blank. Oh, I think there is a password. Okay, so you can see show system in interface. And we have this IP address that is the 192.168.53. So let me log in it. So I have to just do one thing. Let me wipe this firewall. And because the evaluation license has been expired since many weeks, I believe this has been up and working. Let's see, it's started. So now we are good. So let me log in it. And I will set the new password. And if I check the again, show system info, interface, we have this 54 IP address. So I will go here and put that 54 IP address here. And I'll just put the admin. The firewall is now login. I'll set up the later. So let's understand the step-by-step process, how the step-by-step configuration is going to happen to just actual internet level configuration is going to required for this user. So first, this user is required the IP address, and this user is part of this subnet, right? 192.168.10.10/24. And this is my FortiGate firewall. This FortiGate firewall have the LAN interface. This is my LAN interface, which have this IP address. And this interface is also acting as a LAN, but might be my DMZ zone. But this having a different IP subnet. This is my WAN interface. And this WAN interface have different subnet. So WAN is always your real internet traffic, which is going to process by the firewall after translating your private IP into the public IP address. But how this algorithm is going to happen in the FortiGate firewall, that we have to understand. So if I'm going on the FortiGate firewall, first I'll go and assign the IP address on this port 2. Okay. So I'll go on the port 2, and this is my port 2 interface. Simply, it's just put as a trust zone, right? I'll put the trust LAN. Anything alias you can put just for your reference. Physical interface, and I want to give an IP address on this interface as a, let me put 172.16.10.1/24. Manual IP address, I want to enable HTTPS, ping. If you want to do SSH, you can do that. LLDP, I don't want to enable, but if you want to enable LLDP and all, you can enable it. etc. should be enabled. This has been done. Okay. So your one interface has been configured. That is the port 2. Okay. LAN to trust LAN. Okay. Now we have another interface is the port 3. That is might be your DMZ interface. So let me go that and configure that. So I will go here. I'll put that here. DMZ LAN. Okay. This time I have the IP address is 192.168.10.1/24. This is my HTTPS ping. SSH I want to enable, right? DSCP server, you know why it is going to require and when it's going to be enabled. I can do that. I can click OK. That is also done. Two things done. Now I have the third thing. That is my WAN interface. But this WAN interface already have an IP address, and this IP address has been assigned automatically. I haven't done anything. So WAN, I just put the WAN and it is getting IP address automatically, and this is my IP address. And you can see already HTTPS, other things are enabled. So I'm not going to do anything. So I'll just put the description, and this is my WAN. So all port has been defined. Now let me go on this PC and define the IP address. And we'll see this PC will get the real internet traffic or not. So I will just go here and define the IP address. So I will go here, properties, adapter, and this is your properties. I will go in this particular section and I'll just put the IP address 172.16.10.10. This is my subnet mask, right? And the gateway is 172.16.10.1. And what is DNS? I can put the DNS is 1.1. Why DNS? Because you want to convert your FQDN. FQDN is the fully qualified domain name. So you have the lot of FQDN here. Like we have the google.com, that's a FQDN. Even you are running the guinet.com, that is also FQDN. Any other facebook.com, that is also FQDN. So you just have to convert this name into the IP. For that require the DNS, domain name server. So that is always going to required here if you want to go and access the real internet, right? So I can simply click OK and the job has been done. Okay. Just wait. So this has been done. Just give me 1 minute. So now it is done. Okay. So you can see this is going to take an IP address, CMD, and I check the IP config. This is going to get an IP address. So let me ping my gateway. This is the first step I have to verify whether my gateway have the reachability or not from this PC. So I will simply go and it's not okay. This terminal is not required and ping my gateway. So 172.16.10.1. Now it is reachable. But this PC need to go on the internet. So how it is going to be internet? What is going to require? What is the first step it is going to check? Anyone? What is the first step it is going to check to go on the internet?
Basically,
Everything?
need to first routing
First routing. Okay. So
and
routing is required. And what is second?
netting,
NAT, right? Network address translation. And what is third?
policies.
Policy, security policy. These three things are very mandatory, right?
Yes.
If we are going to miss anything, my things is not going to work. So now tell me, this PC is able to reach to this gateway and want to go google.com. So do you have any routing for the google.com on this particular FortiGate firewall? Let me check it. How can I check that routing? So to check the routing, you have to go in the dashboard and go in the network tab, and here is the routing tab. So expand the full screen. Can you just tell me, we have the routing available here?
Yes, routing is available like a static and direct connected.
So directly connected to your LAN network, but for the WAN,
Yes,
everything we have the static, but we haven't defined this routing, right? Have you
yes,
configured this routing? Not configured, right?
yes.
So how this routing was automatically configured? It is configured because when the WAN interface was configured via the DHCP, so by default in the FortiGate firewall, if the port 1 is going to get an IP address default from the DHCP, it will create the as a default route pointing toward the next hop of the router who provide the IP address to that particular interface. So they know the gateway, based on the gateway address, they create the IP address. So if I want to go in the static routing here, you can see static route.
No, I didn't get sir your what you saying.
So what I'm trying to say, if in FortiGate firewall, if by default port 1 is going to configure with a DHCP to get an IP assignment, okay? So it will get the automatic IP address and also create one of the static default route in the routing table, pointing to the next hop, whatever the next hop of the DHCP server given the IP address, that is the same is going to be used to provide the IP address. So let me do in this way. I'll remove this static IP. I'll assign the dynamic one. Sorry,
Oh,
dynamic I remove. I'll assign the static one. Okay.
static. Okay.
So that will remove your manual assignment. That will check how it is going to happen.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Mavika. How are you?
I'm okay. I just come in. I'm late. Sorry.
No problem.
Thank you.
So I'll go on this interface. If you see here, the WAN port, and now I'll change it to manual. Okay, from DHCP. Clear? The moment I'll do, I'll keep the same IP address, but I change it to the manual. I'll click OK. Now you see, now if I'm going in a dashboard again, network, full, see my default route has been removed. You understand? Now, sir, Pradeep, Madan, what does mean?
No sir. Can you
No.
repeat again?
So what I'm trying to say, if this DHCP, let me put in this way. This is your think about, this is your PC, okay?
Yes.
It is connected to the DHCP server. So when DHCP server will give the IP address to the PC, it will also give the subnet mask.
Yes.
and it will also give the default gateway.
Yes.
It will give, na?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So what he is doing by default, when the port 1 is getting IP address from the DHCP server, it is getting the IP address 192.168.1.53. And what is subnet mask? /24. And what is gateway? 192.168.1.1. Clear till here?
Yes.
Because this is how. So by default in FortiGate firewall, it will create one of the default route as well, pointing toward your gateway. Just considering this is your WAN next hop IP address. By default, it is going to do that. So that's why in the previous scenario, it was creating one of the default route static. You see that, right?
Okay. Okay. Yes.
So now what I have done that I eliminate this behavior. I change from DHCP to static, and then my static route has been removed, right?
Okay.
Now I have to do the same configuration manually. So you come to know how I can do the static route configuration manually. This is the agenda I want to teach you. Clear?
Okay.
So I am going to just do the configuration here. Here is my configuration, and there is no static route. So I'll go in the network again. So the first thing, we require the routing. So we don't have routing right now to go on the internet. So internet required the default routing because we have to go any of the interfaces, that is always require the default route. Google have their different destination. Palo Alto have their different destination. FortiGate server having different destination. Facebook having different destinations. So we don't know what destination user is going. So I will go here, static route, and I'll create one of the static route and put any subnet, any destination want to go. What is my gateway? So your internet gateway is always going to remain as this IP address 192.168.1.1. This is your GUI net router gateway IP address. Okay, clear? Understand?
Yes.
So now we are good till here. Just give me 1 second. So now we are good with this particular configuration. Just let me reply one message. Yeah, okay. So this is my GUINet gateway. So I just put the gateway as this particular configuration is 192.168.1.1. And from which interface? It is by default take the interface that is a WAN port 1. And by default, when you're going to configure the any route in the routing table for the static, it is going to take the AD value as a 10 by default. Palo Alto it take the 5. So we leave it the 10. We don't want to do any advanced configuration priority and all. We can leave the default and should be enabled. So my routing has been configured. Is it clear how to define the static route? Everyone clear about this?
Yes. Yes, sir. But Fortinet
Yes, sir.
firewall using by default AD value is for a static 10.
10, right.
Okay. Okay. But in real scenario, like one using, right? Okay. So only
Cisco it's
these
the
things
one,
happen
FortiGate
in
10.
FortiGate firewall.
FortiGate 10, Palo Alto 5, right?
Okay. Okay. For a static writing, it is on AD value, right?
Yes, AD value. See now, here AD value.
Yes.
By
Yes.
default
Yes. Yes.
10.
Got it. Yes.
So now routing is done. So we are good with routing. Now let's discuss about the policy. Second step. So how the policy, I want to go on the internet. So my this is source. They want to go on the internet. So I require the policy. So right now, if I go in the ping the any google.com, this google.com might be not going to ping you. See, it is not pinging. I'm not getting any reply from here. So it is trying to ping, but no reply is coming. So let me go and create the policy. So I'll go in the policy here. This is my policy. I will create one of the policy, and this time I'll put the LAN trust to WAN policy. What is my incoming interface where the traffic is coming? LAN trust, right? Clear? Where the traffic is going? WAN. What is the source from where the traffic is coming? We can create the address group, or this address group by default is going to create it whenever we're going to define any interface on the FortiGate firewall VLAN and all. So right now we're not defining any VLAN. So I can create my own interface address group by creating in this address group. So I'll create in the address group and I can put the trust subnet. And in this subnet, I'll put the 172.16.10.0/24 and interface on which it is associated, that is your trust LAN. So you can associate the LAN as well. If you want to change the color also, you can define the color as well. So it look going very nice. And you want to create a static route for this subnet. So just check it. It is not required because it's directly connected is going to there. So we can leave it. So now I have this source IP address, trust subnet. Which destination you want to go? So user can go to reach any destination. You don't have any control on the users. It can go and reach any destination. So I can simply use the all because it can go on Google, Facebook, Yahoo, Gmail, YouTube, blah, blah. So I can simply go and use the all. Now we have the schedule options. So here we have the multiple option. I want to schedule this policy should be activated for particular time. Means recurring. I want to put the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all day or a specific time. It can be doable. One time also I want to put, that is, let me, why it is not. Okay, due to one time feature is not showing here. Due to license or what? Why it's not showing one time feature? Recurring it's showing. So no worry, we can even, you want to set for the specific time. Let's suppose I want to change one time on Saturday. So that's why it's not showing. So one time I can define any time, means 1 hour, 2 hour, this policy needs to be activated. That is also possible. So I'm not going to change anything. It is going to be always, right? If you do the none, then it is going to be no schedule for the policy. So you can just use the none or always. So always going to be, this policy is going to be on always, right? And services, definitely the services should be the all, right? Means I want to go any services, UDP, TCP, ICMP, any L4 services. That should be all. So I'll simply go and click all. And now we have the action. So what is the action? So if I just accept the traffic, that means the traffic will come and it will go to the internet. The traffic will allow and it will go to the internet. That is my accept. If I put a deny, that means see all below action has been removed because simply whatever the traffic coming from this source and want to go this destination, this will be block all the traffic. So definitely I want to send the traffic. So I use the accept. Now we have the option here. Do I want to inspect traffic in mode of the flow base or proxy base? Right. So what does mean? Default behavior always going to be flow base, right? And if I want to change the proxy base, that is also going to work. There is no much difference is going to be happen, but little bit concept is going to be changed. You can see if I'm selecting the flow base, I have this kind of the antivirus, web filtering, DNS, IPSL inspection, but changing the proxy base, I have some kind of additional feature. Like you can see, we not have the video filter, DNS, we have, let's say DNS filter, we have application and all, but video filter we don't have. But the additional feature has been come in the proxy base. So the main difference between the flow-based and proxy-based inspection in FortiGate firewall, the way of inspecting the packet means any packet is going to land in the FortiGate firewall. So how I am going to inspect, right? So if I am going to use the flow base, right? So what is going to happen? Any packet is going to reach to me. I will going to match any kind of the threads, any kind of the signature that is on the real time basis. Okay. Means the packet is going to receive me. I will just going to real time checks and based on the real time checks, I will just do all kind of content inspections, whatever the policy I have, whatever the content filter I have, that all are going to be done in the during the flow of the packet which is going to process through the firewall. Proxy also going to do similar kind of works, right? But you can think about this way: proxy is something, and once the packet I receive, I will just intercept all the packet on behalf of the user, and then it is going to do like detailed discussion inside of their sandbox consultations, inside of their advanced feature, which is going to look more in depth of the packet informations. So basically proxy based inspection is more in depth, but it going to slow down your throughput. Means it is going to check more in deeper side, because it is going to hold your packet. It is going to process very detailed checks, but your slowdown of the packet processing is going to be done here. And that's why it is not recommended unless you have some kind of the special requirement to do the inspection based on the proxy. So flow base is more real time. Proxy is more about the going to take little bit more time to do the inspections, and then your packet is going to be processed from the firewall. So if I go in the books as well, let me see here policy. If I have something, I don't know which section it is available. Let me do you have the policy here? Yeah, policy. Traffic security profile.
Can you explain in another way for flow base and proxy base? Because
I'm coming. I'm just showing that also only so you can understand. In simple layman language, if you want to understand flow base means real time traffic is going to be inspected, right? But if you discuss about the proxy base, right? So there is little bit slow in the inspection because it is going to do the deep dive of inspections. In the simple layman language, if you want to understand, right? So this is I want to show you.
means proxy base is a slow work like compared to flow base.
Yeah. Let me inspection mode, right? FortiGate Firewall, right? Flow based versus proxy based, right? So if I just go in the official document, I was just searching in the book. So you can see here. So about the inspection mode, right? So what official document is saying, just look it in it, and you can just summarize in your version as well what I summarize. So FortiGate OS support the flow-based and proxy-based inspection in the firewall policy. You can select the inspection mode when configuring the policy. Same thing we are doing here. I want to configure the policy. I can either select the flow-based or I can select the proxy-based, right? It is saying that when you're going to select the flow-based inspection, it is going to take a snapshot of the contained packet. Means your packet having a lot of informations. your packet having a lot of information. Your packet having layer 2 information, layer 3 information, layer 4 information, layer 7 information, some extra information like layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, layer 7, some extra, and then data. This is the content. So they are talking about the content inspections, right? First thing means whatever data you are sending in the packet, for that they are talking. So the snapshot of the packet is going to be taken and they are going to do the uses pattern matching to identify the security threats in the content. Means whatever the data I'm going to send from PC to the internet, my content is going to be inspected based on the content inspection real time. It is going to do the inspection, whatever signature available in my firewall policy. So this is known as the content inspection real time. And this is going to done by the flow based, right? But if I'm going to change this mode in the proxy mode, the same packet is going to be inspected again for data. But this time, the proxy-based inspection reconstruct the content. Means whatever content I'm receiving, they are going to reconstruct the content that passed through the FortiGate firewall and inspect the content for the security threats. So little bit misleading here, like what does mean reconstruct the content? Means they're going to again rewrite the content. No, it's not going to do that this way. But in short, you can understand, means it is going to do the deeper kind of the checks for the packet. And based on that, deeper checks of the packet, basically they are going to hold your all content and going to do some additional step of the checks. So your packet processing is going to be slow down, right? So that's why proxy base is not recommended, because it is going to do more checks about the data packets. Where in the flow base, it is going to just do the quick check, because they don't have to much do the deep DPI, which is called a deep packet inspection in the flow base. It just check the whatever the content available, signature available. I don't have any sandbox for the real-time inspection. So that's why they just use their own local policy engine and content policy engine, and based on that, they're going to check that. So you can see each of the inspection mode play a role in the processing the traffic in route to its destination. Means both of the case, the traffic is going to be inspected whenever they want to go on the internet. While both mode offer the significant security, proxy-based provide the more feature configuration option. See, this line is very important. Proxy-based is going to provide the more data inspection, while flow-based designed to optimize the performance. Clear? Naushad, clear to you or everyone? Means simple definition we have. If I'm going to use the flow base, my performance is going to be optimized. My less security checks is going to be happen. If I'm going to do the proxy base, I have to do a lot of inspections. My performance is going to be slow down. That's a simple difference we have. So let me go here. Nasad, any question
Okay.
or understand, right?
Yes.
Okay. So always use the flow base. Now I have to go on the internet. So I have to translate my private IP to the public IP address. For that, I have to enable the third thing is a NAT. So whenever you create the policy, your NAT option is available here. Also, we have another way to do the NAT. We'll discuss that, how the NAT is going to be configured another way. But in a policy itself, we have the NAT. So just click on the NAT. So whatever the IP address configure as a privates, so NAT having the responsibility, you have the private subnet and they want to talk to the public subnet, then we need to translate. Simple definition. So private to public, we have to do translation. So here I have to include the NAT, and if I including the NAT, it is asking which method I want to use the NAT. I want to use all the packet which is coming to the LAN to just translate in my WAN IP address, which is my 192.168.1.53. I want 54 right now. So I say, yes, I want to use. If you have any dynamic pool, you can create dynamic pool as well. But I want to use my own IP address. And I leave default. what is security profile? We'll discuss later stage. Okay. These are the content inspection. So I'll discuss later stage what is security profile here. So this is the most important, and actually this is the must known feature available in the firewall that is going to require SSL inspection. Why it is going to require that? Also we'll discuss that. So now if I click at antivirus, web filtering, DNS filtering, we'll discuss each and everything in very detail. Inspection not required. Enable policy, definitely it is going done, and I'll click OK. Once I click OK, my policy has been activated. And if I go in this PC again and try to reach google.com, see, I am able to reach the real Google I am able to reach from PC. So I have the internet access on my PC. If I go and access my google.com, my google.com is going to be available. Let me show you.
So in netting, no need to define and set public IP address.
No, that is
Only
if
for
we are doing the
only
PAT.
for netting feature.
I'll
Whenever time
discuss.
it will get.
I'll discuss what is a NAT PAT in detail. Okay, I'll discuss in detail. We have to understand NAT in very detail. Okay, but for time being in policy, you want to define the NAT. Simply just click on the one policy. It's very easy to define in this FortiGate firewall, and your NAT is going to be defined.
Means you directly single click and it will get public IP address.
Yeah, single. See, I just clicked on here. Not public IP address. It is just translated on the outgoing interface.
It means auto translate to, from
Yes.
private to public.
Yeah, if I want to create the pool, this is also available. I can create the pool also. So the pool IP is going to be translated. So let me show you how it is going to happen here. So now if I'm going in dashboard and dashboard, I'm going in the status network. You can see I have the routings, right? And I want to go in the FortiView sessions. So you can see I have this source IP address. This is my destination IP address. This is my different public IP address, Google one, which I am pinging that. There's a different server. This is happening here. So we have a lot of options, and I want to source NAT address. See, so we supply. So my packet is getting translated. This is my source NAT address. See. So my packet is coming from this IP address and it is translated on my WAN IP address. You can see clearly it is written that, right?
Yes, yes.
So this is my source IP address, this is my destination address, but what is my source NAT, which I'm doing that on this IP address.
So this IP address it will automatically showing, right?
No, it is your WAN IP address. So right now I'm saying that based on my WAN IP address, it is going to translate it.
Okay.
But if I want to change my pool, let's suppose I want to create one pool here. Let me show you. Okay. So it is going to translate it in another IP address. Let me change that. So if I want to create any pool, let me find the free IP address. Let me ping here some free IP address. 68 1.55. It's free. 56. So let me create two pool, right? So let me go here and in NAT, I create dynamic and I create the pool here. NAT pool. So it's overload and type is, see, we have the different NAT IP, one-to-one, fixed port IP address and overload. So basically right now it's happening your, PAT. But if I want to create the pool like this way, 192.168.1.55 to 192.168.1.56. What was the range? Let me see. Right, clear, no? So we have to put dash, right? 192.168.1.55. dash 192.168.1 dot. Okay, so I'm just going this NAT, click OK, and I'll use this pool, okay, this time. Let me use. So now, once I apply, you can see right now the all translation is happening on which port? On 54, okay? But this time should be changed to the 55 or 56. So let me check that. So this has been done. Let me go on the PC. This PC, see, one packet has been dropped because due to NAT IP address has been changed, right?
Okay.
So the IP address has been changed. So now it is done. So now let me go again in the FortiGate firewall. And if I go in the dashboard and 40 sessions, and you see the NAT address has been changed. Make sense?
Yes.
So we'll do detailed discussion. What is the fixed one-to-one NAT? What is the pool NAT? But I just showed you how it is going to happen. So NAT, we have to discuss a lot of flavors here. So let me show you NAT. How many NAT? This is the not FortiGate. This is a Palo Alto.
Sir, but in NAT tab, showing first packet went for 1.55. Then after 54 IP selected, right?
No, it is going to refresh. Let me refresh it. It will refresh definitely. One is going to be show. It's an old one, cache one. 54 I removed, nah. 54 I removed. It is going. See, there is no traffic. Only traffic is going on this 50 IP address. See?
Okay, 55 through.
Yeah, 55. Let me see
Yes.
some new traffic. All gone, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So it was a cache. It will take time to reflect. So now we have only 55 only. Okay. So see, a lot of
Okay.
traffic is start coming from 55 only.
And 56 whenever you, sir?
So if I have the another user, right, they want to come, then it is going to come with a different IP address when we have the range, right?
Okay,
Then we have
okay.
to come. So no worry, we have this much NAT we have to understand. See? So you will get all answers. What is a NAT? What is network address translation? What is a source NAT, destination NAT, overload, one-to-one NAT, fixed port range NAT. So that much NAT you have to understand. So definitely you'll get all the answers. So now we have the configuration, okay, and we have the real-time communication with the policy. So you understand at least how the basic routing is going to configure, how the basic NAT is going to be enabled, what is the flow based on proxy-based architecture, how the group is going to be created. And I believe that's all for today. Okay, guys?
Yes. Sir, in dashboard FortiGate firewall, can you go again? If you time, if you have time, then.
What?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, dashboard option over. Yes.
Mm.
Yes, sir. In the below side station showing. So, what is the exactly meaning of this, sir? Like CPU, memory, and session. So, we need to session. Yeah.
So session is like all current running sessions, which is going on this for your firewall. The firewall's current CPU utilizations, memory utilization, CPU utilization. This is showing that. I mean, they are showing total 19 sessions, 27 sessions running on the firewall, right? 75% memory is utilized and your CPU is 20% utilized here. Okay?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yes, Mavaika, you asking
Yeah,
something?
yeah, I'm about to ask something said. So far as I come late, I didn't through the whole lecture. I don't know. Do we have the recorded one for us to go over it again? Or I don't know. I don't know. Because we didn't say anything about the courses. I don't know how is it going.
I didn't understand, Mava. Can you just repeat your question again?
Yeah, I'm saying so far as me, I come late today class. I'm late. I didn't follow the whole classes. So I want to go over what you've done. So I don't know.
Yeah,
There is a recorded.
Already somebody is trying to reach out, like, but you're not responding on the text message. Can you respond on text? Somebody
Okay.
from team is trying to ping you or on mobile number.
Oh, okay. Then I'll check it. Okay.
Let me confirm your mobile number. The mobile number is your 228-9055-6900, right?
That's it. That's my number.
Okay, so somebody is trying to reach you. Just respond him, okay?
Okay, that's
Call
cool.
her, okay? Yeah, she will
That's
help
cool.
you. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right, guys. So let's conclude this session here, okay? And we'll connect on the Monday, and we'll continue from here. Okay, guys?
Okay, that's cool.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
sir.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, sir.